Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Today is day 10. We did it. It's a fantastic day, fantastic journey that we've been on. And today I want you to live your fullest, brightest life. And I want to leave you with things that we've been working up to. You already have a toolbox, toolkit, weapons, supernatural weapons, a formula to help you be yourself. To be your best self is to be yourself. And that's the whole crux of it. So I'm being bright today. I've got an amazing opportunity today. And what I am going to tell you is what I'm speaking into my life, which is what is being spoken into me. I am very intentional about it being the cycle that keeps on giving. This is like a prayer in and of itself. And it is a remembering of what your function is. What is your function? When you remember your function and you stay in that role, then you have the power of God and everything behind it because all you're doing is being who you were meant to be. That's what it means, finding your purpose. So when you trust that, so today I want you to just celebrate it, trust it, just dig into it, and just be fabulous. Just be your most obnoxious self. And again, the words of the world aren't the same as ours. You know, we think arrogance and obnoxious and all of that. No, it's called celebrating, living in your light and brightness and shine, let your shine come through. Trust, manifest. So I have an opportunity today and I am breathing and saying, it's happening if it is in God's will. And what is my function? Is to be the light of God, to be in alignment with God's will. If his will is for me to be happy and brilliant and doing the thing, at peace, doing these things that bring joy, love. Your function is to be a loving, forgiving, attuned person that's in alignment with your higher self. And that way we make the world a better place. So don't hide from your function. That's your purpose. That's your function. Always come back to it. Now, we all have different talents and ways that we express it. But the ultimate function is the same, just as it's the ultimate answer to every problem. Is the only problem is that we're out of alignment with our true self, with our function. So today, day 10, I want you to line it all up, take it all in, get in tune with God, and it does not matter what anyone else says. Those doubts, the ego wants to come in and say, well, you can't do that, or wouldn't this just be too amazing or too fabulous for you to have a great outcome like this? Who are you? Why me? Why not me? That's how we should all feel, because we get in our way with those doubts and everything. So again, a great lesson that I have to share, and I'm going to share these books with you because these are ones, as you can tell, I tend to live by every day and go to, and then we'll talk about synchronicities because you're going to see how it all works together. It's just so great. So my today's lesson is salvation of the world depends on me, and it's your lesson too. What does that mean? It depends on me because what is your function? Your function is to be a living personification of what God wills for you in your life. That is your function. So it depends on you. As you do it and I do it and we all do it, we're in a happy place. So, but one person can make a difference, and a big difference it is. So this is there was some wording here that I think helps give permission, helps you to realize, oh, okay, again, like, who am I not to be fabulous and talented and extraordinary? That's what God promised me. That is actually my function. And when I'm not being that brilliant, I'm actually going against God's will. What? The world wants to say, oh, she thinks she's all that. Or who does she think she Don't let them do that to you. That's them. What you do is you forgive them, because that is, how they've been taught and conditioned. But we're rising above it, and therefore we're getting the blessings of everything. And you just send them a quiet blessing and, let your light shine. And without saying a word, God will take your light and help enlighten them in different ways. And you just trust that. It's not for you in your body to know and point and try to convince someone over to your side. You don't have to do all that work. You're just planting seeds. God promised me all I have to do is plant seeds and he'll take it from there, because I'm just going to be me. And in the being me, the seed is planted. So instantly, as you give, you receive. So you are your function. Your function is to be what God has assigned you to be, which is happy. So do your function. Sit in it. It does not ask you to be any different in any way from what you are. The world does not ask or require of you to be any different of what you are. You are a thought in the mind of God, an amazing spirit in this higher realm that feeds into this lower realm that lets you. Nothing else is asked or required of you. Okay? All false humility we lay aside today, that we can listen to God's voice reveal to us what he would have us to do. We do not doubt our adequacy for the function he will offer us. We will be certain only that he knows our strengths, our wisdom, and our holiness. And if he deems three sneezes, that must have been the truth right there. And if he deems, excuse me, bless me, thank you. And if he deems us unworthy, so we are, but it is arrogance that judges otherwise. There is only one way, the only one, to be released from the imprisonment of your plan to prove false is true has brought to you. That's some double talk, but I hope you got it. There's only one way to be released from this false view of things that we have into this enlightened view. That is to accept the plan you did not make instead. So don't accept your plan, accept accept his plan. Judge not your value to it. Don't be judgmental. If God's voice assures you that salvation needs your part and that the whole depends on you, be sure it is so. Those are powerful words. If you be sure and certain in all that we're talking about that this is true, and stop using your own judgment and being judgmental, it's blocking you. It blocks the world from our full greatness and makes us, I would go into this meeting, feeling worried or less than, or what if they think I'm stupid? Or what if I say something dumb? Or what if the technology doesn't work? What if this all falls on its face? I am going in being fed now and taking this into that anything that happens today, because I am in this spirit of knowing, is going to be perfectly appointed and anointed. It is just what it is. And it's okay. Like three sneezes in the middle of a talk. There's so much good stuff here. I'm just going to, because this is day 10, share a few more things. And then I just want to leave you pumped, excited for your transformation, for who you are, transforming into yourself, unfolding into your becoming. And therefore it is. So it's happening and it is all at the same time. This is the mindset. This is the awakening. This is the eyes being open. You are perfect the way you are. Just follow in your function, in your perfection, without false modesty, and be you in the higher form, not the stank form, not the lower petty form, in the higher form, and then all is well. And so we find our peace, and we will accept the function God has given us, for all illusions rest upon the weird belief that we can make another reality for ourselves. Our self-made roles are shifting, and they seem to change from mourner to ecstatic bliss of love and loving. We can laugh or weep and greet the day with welcome or with tears. Our very being seems to change as we experience 1,000 shifts in mood, and our emotions raise us high indeed, or dash us to the ground of hopelessness. These are the choices. And what we're saying is, when you're in your function, your body, your very essence shifts in 1,000 ways, like micro shifts. so that the way you're perceiving things, it totally changes. Like clouds being moved aside and the sun starts to shine through. And you're like, wow, this was a gray day at first and now it's sunny. That's what happens to your persona. Otherwise, you're only seeing a gray day or you're seeing other darkness. But I love that our role, your role is shifting. This is the transformation to one of ecstatic bliss and love, from changing from one who mourns to one of ecstatic bliss of love and loving. I'm gonna leave that there. That was today's lesson, our lesson for today, which is perfect for this day 10 and all of this, just the juiciness of life. So instead of, the world's been trying to get us down with the virus and the social injustice and domestic terrorism and all of that. But we don't have to be depressed by that, because now we're going to focus on what God's will for us, which is to be happy and just be happy and take all these things and then help be the light. And that's how we can help clear up other things. So here's the books that I tend to go to daily, and you've seen me refer to them, which are my books, right? We got A Year of Mindful Eating. You might not be able to see these. A Year of Me, which is daily affirmations. This is what I journal in. Can you see that? A Wellness Journey. It's 60 days and it has a daily affirmation at the top. And this is the 10 days that goes into depth and even has the formula for how long you should meditate, how many times a day to take you even higher, or how long should you exercise and how much sleep should you get, and things like that. It's a little bit more prescriptive, but if you've just done the 7 intentions to the best of your ability, you're already, most of the way there. And it also has an ability to journal in here. So these 3 things. And then, of course, what I've been talking about is A Course in Miracles. Every day, it seems like, in the synchronicity now is crazy. So here's an example of synchronicity, and this is how the universe talks to you. So now that we're all fabulous, we've got our tools, we're celebrating ourselves, we're celebrating understanding how the universe works. Now we're applying it to our life, and we're reading this realm, this higher realm. We're reading God's will, how the Holy Spirit talks to us, which isn't through our 5 senses. It's in a different way. The easiest and often way is through synchronicities. Here's some other ways: numerology, astrology, crystals, aromatics, earth, wind, fire. There's many ways that these synchronicities will come through. So a few days ago, I think peace. I am peace. I have peace. And they were coming at me through my wisdom tools synchronistically. These things, someone else wrote these. I wrote these at different times, breathed through me. So talking points. And it's just amazing how that happens. So what this talks about, celebrating yourself. So my journal, as I journal today, in my book, it has, I wish you could see this, but that light's not letting it do it. It has daily affirmations at the beginning of every day. So I get a lesson there. I have another daily affirmation here. And this says, I practice forgiveness and gratitude every day. That's the daily affirmation here. Forgiveness. That was the talk that we did just prior to this one. All on forgiveness. So when you're in the right spirit, everything's coming together because you're speaking the same language and it's coming from different places. And when it's crazy, it comes like that. Same day in this book, the daily affirmation. So I journal in this one, but my daily affirmation was here too. I practice non-judgment, forgiveness. All amazing. Just all, when it starts to come together and you're like, okay, I got it. Non-judgment, forgiveness, forgive myself. I'm fabulous. I'm amazing. God's will for me, it makes a difference. So get your arsenals. I suggest, obviously, mine too. I'm in love with, of course, miracles. So it's the tool, the path, it's the curriculum that I've used for my path to enlightenment. So there's other teachers, people that come into your life to teach, which is very important. And there's also wisdoms that have been written down for you, or music that's there for you. I mean, it comes from everywhere. This is the synchronicity. I also suggest you get another book or two of wisdoms that you feed into all the time. And today I'm going to suggest The Essential Rumi. Rumi is a poet, a mystic poet, actually. And you'll start, if you haven't heard of him before, you will now start hearing it. His quotes are everywhere. A Persian philosopher, poet, mystic from, I think, the 1200 something was when he was alive. And then this one's really good. The Dalai Lama, man, he writes some good books. And there's a book of joy called, I think it's called the Book of Joy, that the Dalai Lama and Bishop Tutu wrote together. And that's a really good one too. That's beside my bed. I've listened to it, I've read it, but it's got some stuff I just want to underline and keep. How to see yourself as you really are. And that's what we've been talking about. Like, we're that higher S self, how to see yourself, all different ways of coming to the same truth. And so when you're keeping yourself steeped and you get something else, you say, aha, 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 I got it. These are synchronicities. So you have tools, you have your affirmations, you've gone through the journey. And now when you stay steeped in this, you'll see, when you see things that happen in threes, like those 3 sneezes, random, stop and think, what am I doing at that moment? Be mindful of what's going on. So for me, that let me know, good. What you're saying is right on point. There are no mistakes. So there's no need to cut that out and keep going. It's another affirmation of how the universe is talking to us in the middle of me talking to you about how the universe talks to us. See how that works? It's crazy. Number 3s, or repetitive. When you look up at the clock and it says 11:11, I've gotten in my car several times, and I think I've posted some pictures where my car dashboard will say, one in particular I remember said, the time on the clock said 2:22 p.m. afternoon, 2:22, and miles to empty, 222 miles. I'm like, okay. So I knew in this place, it's like reminder, I'm right where I'm supposed to be and what's going on, So, and then you can look up, well, what does 2s mean? What does 5 2s or 3 2s? And you'll get more wisdom from that. What's in my dreams? Those aren't mistakes. Those aren't accidents. You're dreaming things that want to be in your presence. So when you start to read that, just like whether it's the numbers or whatever other synchronicity, a lot of times it doesn't even mean anything more than a confirmation of, yes, you are serving your function. The things you are doing now, you are in the right place. I am real. God is real. This spirit, the spiritual realm is real. It's more real than this stuff that we're talking about. This stuff here that keeps us down, I will bring you up and make you happy. There was another time, and I'm just remembering big, bold times as examples. So when you're going through your day-to-day, when you're aware of it, you will see them all the time. I went to the store after doing one of these talks in a journey, a live one that we will do one in the spring. So people can ask questions at the end, and it's really interactive. I left after that, went to the store to get me a bottle of wine. I was so celebratory. And when I turned out of my neighborhood, the street light was off. So it was very dark. And I was like, oh my gosh, with this light, I hope they fix this street light because I don't want to hit anything. People cross the street, residential, turning out and to go to the store. And then I said, if that light is on, when I come back, I'm going to know all is well. I am not lying. I am not lying. I go, and when I come back and I'm looking down the street, the light's still off. And I was like, as soon as I turned that corner, the light came on. I'm telling you, I was like, ah. So I felt good about the talk, but I felt good. And I don't know, maybe I was still looking for confirmation that, someone got something from it, or, and when I did, and that light came on, when I turned that corner, that's synchronicity. That's not even, it is synchronicity, but it's just the language of the universe. So God uses these human tools and concepts to communicate with us through spirit in a different way. And that is the way. But you have to be present and aware and awake to see and receive it. And then you can go along boldly and comfortably and confidently in everything that you do. So I don't even want to keep you. I want you to go start looking at these synchronicities, practicing forgiveness, non-judgment, um, fulfilling the role that God has for you, which is being your beautiful, fantastic self in love and in joy, inner peace, health and healing. Be that person by pushing away negativity and judgment, by forgiving, by understanding that people are only who they are because of they don't know any better. They don't know yet. They haven't learned what you have learned, but what they have learned is conditioning from the world, and they're a victim to that. And then when you learn this stuff, you won't be a victim anymore. You won't be you are no longer a victim. That everything is happening is for your good, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. When you're trusting, you have to trust. That's faith. When you're trusting, even if you don't, in your human smallness, like it, when you come back to your higher self, you'll be like, well, I don't like it, but clearly it's something that God wants me to learn. So I'm not looking at this correctly because I'm looking at this negatively. God, how should I see this? I'm not seeing this correctly. Give me your vision of understanding and wisdom and how to perceive this. Just like that. And then the next thoughts, or when you stay in that, you will get the understanding. That's the beauty of this. And that understanding brings you peace, in the inner peace, and the circle is then complete. And all is everything that you desired, you've accomplished, and the transformation is here. And so that's the beauty of life. And that is the remarkable wellness journey. And I want you to know that even when you reach here, there will continue to be times, because we're living in the world, that you'll feel down or disappointment. Always come back to the tools you have to bring you up, because sometimes you're going to look for other people to tell you what you want. And the answers aren't there. The answers are from above. Okay. I love you. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Remarkable Wellness. Love and light.